Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Mistonia's Hope, continuing Linus's route. Well, we're going to start his bad endings today. So we finished his happy ending. We're going to get the clown end today. Well, we're going to start it because they always take about 2 parts. So we'll see if we get the clown end and then we start the astray end or whatever. You know what I mean? So at any rate, I loaded up our save file too, so we're here. This is when we kind of stayed the night, and we are supposed to ask him if he has many nightmares. So, do you have many nightmares? You seem very distressed. Yeah, I think so. I sometimes wake up from my own screaming after all. Sorry, it must have been noisy. No, that's not... What had truly bothered me wasn't the noise, but his memories. Because of that, my response sounded somewhat hollow. Okay, and then we're going to switch, and this is when they're fighting over us. Oh, okay. And then we say, I'll stay. And then, okay, so that was no different this time. Oh, because we have a save file there where we return to with Edward, and that unlocks the astray ending. Okay, right. Okay. So now we're going, and now we're here, going to the tea party. Now we're not at the tea party. And then, okay, now we pretend we don't know what he's talking about when we're talking about playing tag. When was this tag you're referring to? There were 2 memories that fit. The tag at the Ward townhouse and the tag we'd played as children. But if he was trying to bring up the latter memory in a place like this... Is he saying that he wants to expose my identity right here, right now? My entire body tensed up. Seeing that Linus wore a troubled smile... Seeing that Linus wore a troubled smile... Norton, go away. I don't... Trup's trying to sell me shit. I mean, it doesn't matter when it was. Did you have fun when you played tag with me? It doesn't look like he wants to arrest me. But he must be confident about who I am. Though he likely knew exactly who I was, Linus had asked that without a shred of gravity. The tension eased from my shoulders. Yes, I had a lot of fun. What is that noise? There's like a noise outside. It's weird. Anyway. Okay, now we have the knife. Now we're going to the exhibition. Now we're running. Now we're fighting. John's going to stay behind. Ascot's helping us in. And now we get the bad end. Okay. The tragic one. For a moment, it felt like our quiet eye contact would last an eternity. But without warning, Linus made another move. Ha! He's fast. The next thing I knew, Linus's sharp claws slashed in front of my eyes. On reflex, I thrust my knife and caught the blow. You got good reflexes, but you're leaving your flank completely defenseless. We have not changed. So, in the other ending, now maybe she does it later, I can't remember when, but I noticed in her sprite, well, like her little portrait, she is not blonde. So we have not whipped out our fairy wings and stuff. So... when we do that and let our guard down and the glamour down, that's when we kind of can sway him. So interesting. What? Linus swung his free hand, aiming for my neck, though I'd managed to dodge it first. I took a direct hit on my upper arm. The claws ripped the fabric of my dress, and a dull pain shot through my bicep. It's not my dominant arm, but the wound isn't shallow. I'm assuming. Okay. I keep turning the red on and off because I'm like, maybe it'll, and I'm like, you know what? It doesn't matter. I was barely managing to push back the claw that I caught with my knife. I jumped away. Each movement I made, I felt warmth trickle down my arm, but I didn't have time to tend it before the next attack came my way. The pain's distracting. I've got to focus. Look at his eyes are crazy. Look at him. Look at him. They're crazy eyes. I managed to catch the next swing of his claws, but due to my injury, I couldn't muster all my strength. I staggered, not having a chance to find my footing again. Ha! That was a really bad scream, but Claws swept down and tore into my arm again. The intense pain nearly overwhelmed my senses, but Linus's fiery, glinting eyes didn't allow me to look away. If you want to kill me, you need to take this more seriously, Spacey! He shouted fiercely before closing in again. At this rate, the next strike will take me out. My back against the wall, I used my ace. As I focused on returning to my original form as a demi-fae, power welled up in my body. See, I think she did it earlier in the good ending. I saw that my hair returned to its original gold, confirming that I'd returned to my real appearance. Watching me transform before his eyes in seconds, even Linus was surprised enough to pause. Now he doesn't have creepy claws. It's been so long since I've seen you like that. It's my first time seeing your wings, though. This is where the real battle begins? You make it sound as if you've been going easy on me. Who knows? I regretted not using my original form from the beginning. Not doing so had been a mistake. Yep, we know. I'll make up for my bad start from here. It's not like my injuries will stop hurting, but I've still got my face-sight hand. The next time his claws closed in on me, I'd brace myself to take the hit while I activated my face-sight. That was the plan, but... Anyway, I'm happy that you're finally taking this seriously. I won't hold back now. I braced myself for his claws, but Linus fainted and leapt into the air. Catching me off guard, he instead drove a sharp kick to my body from above. I wonder if... Because, okay, so in all the other ones, we were in the throne room fighting with the queen, and that's where they die type of a thing. In the tragic end, I think. You know what I mean? Well, yeah. Because, well, with Lucas, it was, the astray end was more the... Well, no. No, the clown one, isn't it? Wait. Which one? Now I cannot remember which one... No, the clown end is the one where we basically, fuck them over. So, that was the one where we get in to see the queen and Lucas comes to save us. So it's that final battle and we're like, I wanted you to watch me die, bitch! And that's the one where we, get away with Alfred, but then we set up everybody and kill everyone in the 5 houses. And then we're like, and then he has to watch us be executed. So, interesting. How's this one gonna go? Or are we gonna let Linus kill us and then he's gonna be like, wait a minute! Actually, that would work. The force from his kick blasted me several meters away. I slammed against the ground. I had to stand up. I thought that to myself, but pain assaulted me from head to toe. I couldn't move and I gasped for air. If I can just use my face sight. No matter how much training you've undergone, there's a discrepancy between our innate abilities. Being able to put up a fight only did you harm. Linus slowly walked to me as I lay collapsed on the ground. I fixed my gaze on him. No matter what his next attack was, I had to receive it with my bare hands. I tossed away my knife and crossed my arms to shield my body. My mind was set. I would activate my face sight the moment he struck. Here he comes. I wonder what she's going to show him. I braced myself for the brunt of his attack, but that moment never came to pass. You think I'll let you... Oh, John jumping into the fray! Oh, look at John's little fairy wings that are colored exactly like Oberon's, let's be real. Although, to be fair, I mean, Linus's are, orangey colored, because he's orange. They kind of match them. But, so John's being green matches his little Boy Scout green. But I'm just saying, Oberon's are also green, and John looks an awful lot like Oberon, so let's just be real here. Come on. John, the one who caught the blow wasn't me, but John, you're you fucked up my plans. John looked as worse for wear as I was. Nevertheless, he shielded me from Linus. He'd clawed through a tough battle with House Ward before coming here for me. This is actually kind of sweet. So, wait a minute. Linus's route is really interesting because you have, like, in the middle of the route, Edward kind of being like, how dare you? And Linus being like, how dare you? And they're just kind of like making evil eyes at each other over me. And you're like, I mean, are you guys going to fight? Because it's subtle. But there's not really fighting. It's just like, looks to each other, you know? Like that kind of fighting. Like they're just giving each other dirty looks a little, you know, over me and like the things that are happening. And like, you know, it's mild fighting. It's not like real, like, oh my God, they're lovers quarreling over me. It's not. But there's something. You're like, there's some kind of like little jealousy thing going on here, right? And then you have Ascot rolling up like, sup, girl? I'm going to give you this knife to help you kill the queen. Okay. And you're like, wait a minute, wild card coming in over here. Wait a minute. And now you got John jumping in like, I'll fucking protect her. No, don't you dare. And it's like, you know, I mean, John wouldn't any route. But it's just really funny because Linus's route has just... Alfred and Lucas are the only two who have not tried to shoehorn their way in here at some point or another and being like, you know what? I got her back. To be fair, Ascot is just giving us a knife, but still has our back in that way. It's kind of interesting is all I'm saying. Also, he's the one who all threw that tidbit that was like, Linus just has to listen to a woman with fey blood. And, like, maybe he could choose you because he loves you. But, like, I'm just saying. And then, like, peaced out, you know? So, I mean, everybody trying to, like, vie for a piece of Linus's cake over here is all I'm saying. Sweetie, don't be a dick. I got men lined up around the block, apparently. Like, only in Lucas's route, Alfred was trying to, like, get a piece of this cake. Notice how nobody tried to get a piece of me in Alfred's route? They were like, don't mess with that man. He plotted the downfall of a queen. We ain't touching him. So fair enough. So, but everybody else, there's always somebody sneaking in here. Interesting. They can fight over me. That's fine. But kiss and make up at the end of the day, boys, because there's no fighting in the man harem. So, anyway. Who are you? This is between me and Spacey. I won't let anyone interfere. John had met Linus's claws with his knife, but Linus pushed forward with brute force, shouting. John pushed back resolutely. Do not kill John here. I will be mad, Linus. Unless, well, I mean, that's part of the tragic end. We'd feel tragedy, and then we would die, and then Linus would feel awful for murdering us, and then it'd be like, ha 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 ha. That's what you get. You think I'll just step aside? I'm happy John came to my rescue. I know that I should be grateful, but Wait, John! I could still fight! I was this close to reaching Linus. I would have managed to kill him with that. I'll finish him with my face-side hand. Lady, you're hurt all over. What are you even saying? I'd be reckless to fight any longer. John was right and I knew it, but I couldn't give up. Not for anything. If killing the queen is impossible, then I'll at least kill Linus with my own hands, even if the price is my death. That's what we agreed on after all. Right, Linus? My one goal was to exact revenge, yet before I knew it, I was considering my battle with Linus as its own precious promise. Such thoughts were wrong. I knew it rationally, but I couldn't stop myself from staring into Linus's eyes from behind John's back. Linus was no different. Though his claws were aimed at John, his eyes were fixed on me. On me. Okay, we're missing a word there. Tim, Ronald. You know, you've actually done well most of this game. I don't think we've really caught you being dumbasses, so I'm not even going to make you sit in the corner for that one. But just, you're on watch. That's all. That's right, Spacey. You're the one who's going to kill me, aren't you? And I'll also deliver the final blow to you. We agreed. That was why I chose to fight you like this. I feel the same way. If I have to die anyway, I want to die by your hands. And I must be the one to kill you. It can't be anyone else. Oddly romantic in a psychotic way. It's been our destiny since that day. Linus pleaded to me, and I yelled out my sincere feelings. We're talking about murder, but my heart's fluttering. I want to realize our wish at all costs. And John's like, You know what? Maybe I will leave. You two are fucked. Let's fight, Spacey. Just the two of us. I'll be like, John, go kill the queen. Yes. Look, she's so happy. Look at her face. Yes. Ugh. Hearing my answer, Linus tried to extend his free hand toward me. In that instant, his attention veered from John. I won't let you do this. I won't hand over my lady to you. Not letting his opening slip away, John shoved into Linus with everything he had. John! After forcing Linus to back off, John lifted me into his arms, turned, and ran. Wait, no, please go back! I still haven't achieved anything! I need my revenge! I haven't finished anything! Go back, John. Please! I cried and wailed, begging him to take me back, but John never stopped. And for some reason, Linus didn't chase us. In John's arms, I left the exhibition venue behind me. Now I hid in a room downtown, recuperating from my wounds. I didn't know how many days had passed. I'd given up on counting them and was meaninglessly wasting away on this bed. What in the world am I doing? I muttered softly. John, who'd been reading a newspaper by my side, whipped his head up. Lady, I didn't realize you were awake. Is there anything you want? If you're hungry, I'll arrange a meal right away. I don't need food. I don't need anything. But she looks so dead in the eyes now. You took everything from her, John. She really just wanted to die and she wanted to kill and be killed. Like, that's... God, rude. I murmured lethargically. John's face fell. This poor man. He loves you so much he didn't want you to die, and now you're mad about it. You gotta eat a little bit at least. If you don't eat, your wounds won't heal. So what if they don't? I failed. John told me the aftermath, or lack thereof. Though the exhibition was temporarily suspended, thanks to the 5 houses, the event resumed and concluded without further ado. You know, poor Alfred's like, son of a bitch! All that effort for nothing! And Ascot's like, I gave that bitch a knife for nothing! And Lucas is like, what? I don't know. Either way, whatever. Like, he's going to grumble about something either way, right? And we don't know how Edward feels one way or the other, to be fair. The Twilight Ravens weren't caught, at least, but the Queen's reign continued as if nothing had happened. In other words, nothing's changed. The only thing of note is that a single maid disappeared from the Bernstein estate. And that maid's identity had already been discovered. Even if I made another attempt, House Word would welcome me in full force. Perhaps it was also only a matter of time before they discovered this hideout. Oh, that's true. So then Linus is like, oh, by the way, space was really spacey. Rose was really applesauce. Or applause, whichever one you want to call it. I'm coming in. Goneril walked in without knocking. The moment she saw my face, she let out a long sigh. Your complexion looks awful. I'd gotten my hopes up that you'd felt better. It looks like I put my faith in the wrong people. I was convinced you two would pull it off somehow, but look at you now. Well, sorry for not living up to your expectations. And I'm sure you didn't just come here to make fun of us. Do you have info? John sniped at her, and she stared back with frosty eyes. Goneril glanced at me again before she spoke up. Does information even mean anything to you two in your state? Sadly for you, I only came over today to check up on things. And I think I might never come back. With her like that, I'm useless to you too, aren't I, John boy? Goneril's right. If we aren't going to take any other action, there's no point in continuing this partnership. John made no rebuttal, and seeing that I wasn't saying anything either, Goneril turned away. I'm leaving. Sorry for the intrusion, and this place isn't going to stay safe forever, so you better leave quickly. If you've got a place to go, that is. Giving us only those final words, Goneril left us. It was just John, still standing there silently, and me, lying in bed like a zombie. If we're fated to be discovered and caught anyway, Maybe I should try to take the queen's life again after all, knowing I have no hope. I don't know why, but after I failed to defeat Linus, I feel like something snapped inside of me. I wonder if there's going to be an ending, and one of the bad endings, like this, where the queen actually uses us like a vessel and pours her essence into us, and then we're just like somewhere in the back of our mind being like, I'm the queen, like I know I'm in here, but I can't come out, and I'm just like watching this woman pilot my body, and it's like some fucked up, because that would be like some fucked up shit, and I feel like that would be a really great bad ending. You know what I mean? Like, not even like just seeing it where, oh, then the queen took over my body, but like actually feeling like, because like not like your essence is completely gone, but feeling like you're trapped in your own body. And like you can see what's going on. You have no control over your limbs or your voice or anything. The queen's piloting you. She's got control, but you're aware. Like you didn't just disappear, because if you just disappeared, it'd be like, that would suck. But it would be like, today I am happy, and then I'm dead. There's just a point where you're just dead. You're just gone. And that sucks. You know what I mean? But it's not like you're like, wait, I'm trapped in my body and I know what's going on, but I have no. That's horrifying. Okay? Dying is tragic and sad, but like having someone else possess your body, being aware and like in there in a fog where you can't do anything, but you see this, like that is some true fucking horror show shit. You know what I mean? So that would be a perfect tragic end somewhere. You know? Interesting. Maybe in like John's route or something. You know what I mean? Because like, or Ascot's, where we're like a little bit. Because, like, that seems like very much like, I mean, it could work in Edwards, I guess. But, I don't know. Well, anyway. Nightmares have begun haunting me every time I close my eyes. No! Help! I don't want to die! I don't want to die! I don't remember this. I never saw this. Back then, my mother had helped me escape. I was deep in the forest before I'd understood what was going on. Do you think these are, Linus's memories? I had no memories of my own of what actually happened that night, but the tragic scenes in my dreams were vivid and realistic. Ah! Why did it have to come to this? It's my fault. It's all my fault. Spacey, it's not your fault, but I ask that you listen to our wish. Please make them pay for what they've done to us. Avenge us! Kill the queen, Spacey! No, I suppose the first one was supposed to be our father. I just saw Riley in front of us and just assumed it was him, but I think that was supposed to be my dad, and then it was Riley, and then it was our mom, but whatever. Anyway. No, Father, Mother, and Riley would never say this to me. My revenge is mine alone. This is a dream. I've got to be dreaming. You know how you can tell if it's a dream, Spacey? Okay, I'm going to need you to see your brother. You go up and you try to make out with him. And if he lets you, it's absolutely a dream, and then just stay there. It's fine. You can't make our brother that hot and not have me say inappropriate shit, is all I'm saying. Lady, have you been struggling to sleep lately? You've been crying in the middle of the night, haven't you? And I feel bad for John because he's the reason we feel like this. He tried to do what he thought was right, but now she's going to resent him and hate him for it. It was roughly 1 week after the nightmares began that John broached the topic with concern. By then I'd already started believing the nightmares were events that really happened. Everyone wanted me to avenge them, but I abandoned my attempt midway. I need to apologize to them. I've got to go to them. I never answered John's question. Only that murky, dark desire festered within me. And then, a few nights later, I acted on that desire. She's going to the town. Yep. I snuck out of the hideout behind John's back and came to my hometown village all alone. Frankly, I barely remembered how I managed to get all the way here. Elpeak was a great distance from Rowan, But I persisted, spurred on by my obsession, and ended up in the rubble before I knew it. Nothing's changed since back then. No, it's wasted away even more. Exposed to the elements, the ruins had transformed into a desolate place. You couldn't tell that people had once lived here. It's completely different from the scene in my dreams. But everyone's resentment and grief must still linger here. Convinced by groundless thoughts, I wandered the fire-wrecked ghost town that was once my home. Everyone, I'm sorry. It's all my fault. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I couldn't avenge you.
Oh, you sleepy? Oh, you sleepy birdie. You had a very adventurous day, didn't you? Did you tell everyone what you did today? He said, oh, there were so many birdies outside. It was like
insane. The amount of robins outside, and then like other little birds, little blackbird type things. I don't know what they were, but like in fucking droves. I have never seen that many motherfucking birds outside. And like, oh my God, he was going ballistic talking to him. So I stuck him in the window and I opened the blinds a little. Like not the window itself because it's cold, but I put the blinds up and stuck him on the windowsill. And he just sat there for the longest time, like calling out to them, like, oh my God. Like, and he has never chirped this much in his fucking life. He was going fucking nanas. Okay. It was so cute. So he's probably exhausted because he's like, oh my God, I was talking up a storm to all the birdies outside. Yeah, you were. I know there was lots of robins out there. And then those other birdies, and then they would take off in droves. Oh my God, it was crazy. If people who were afraid of birds, it was like the Alfred Hitchcock movie out there. But like for me, I was like, ooh, it was exciting. I know, and you wanted to go play with them, but you can't go play with birds in the wild. It's too cold. But maybe if the birdies come back in the spring, when it's warmer, we could open the windows so you could talk to them. I know they could hear you through the motherfucking window, though, but... but now he's very, like, lethargic and sleepy. Not that you're not always lethargic and sleepy, but more so than normal, I feel like, because you had a very eventful day of chirping a lot. Even though I spoke to them, no one would reply. That was what I thought, but... It's either Linus or it's John. Somebody is asking, who are you talking to, Spacey? No, it's Linus. Okay. Linus? This man I thought I'd lost looked lifeless. His amber eyes neither shone with kindness nor ferocity, and he's wearing his outfit, and we came here after we fell in love. It's not just because it's nighttime. I stared back at him in a daze. Linus spoke again, his face burdened with sorrow. Why did you reveal yourself? You even had to come to this place. Why did it have to be here of all places? Why, I'm here to apologize to everyone. I had to avenge the wrongs done to them, but I failed. I didn't take my eyes off Linus as I replied. Then a certain thought flitted across my mind. I wasn't able to kill the queen, but would everyone be happy if I killed Linus here? I understood that Linus hadn't leaked our location on purpose back then. Still, he lit the spark. He was why everyone was gone. If I can at least kill Linus... The idea ate away at me like sweet poison. I allowed the poison to take over, and I steadily closed the distance between us. But that was when Linus cried out in grief. If we had to part like that, I wanted you to escape and get away to safety for good. But we've reunited in a place like this, and I got no choice other than to catch you. What? Linus's voice turned out to be a signal. Dozens of men rushed out of the shadows, all of them members of House Ward. Shall we lead the girl to Her Majesty? Yes, that's the Queen's will. Linus replied somberly. The last bit of hope that kept me going was abruptly snuffed out. Use your fey hand. I see. So you decided to dedicate yourself to your duty as Kusith. That's right. Now I think I should have done this from the very beginning. I never should have faltered. The moment I doubted your identity, I should have handed you over to the Queen. Linus's voice was anguished. He didn't move, instead commanding two subordinates to seize me. But that was a mistake. She's strangely cooperative. She's not going to resist? It's probably for the best. Ah! What's wrong? Ah! The men released me at the same time to grab at their heads. The next moment, they stared at each other in horror. There's a monster! Don't come any closer, you monster! What are you doing? Stop it once! Oh, okay. Jackass. Sorry, Linus, but what are you doing? Stop that! Oh, okay! No, get fucked, Linus. Linus's attempt to detain them was futile. Oh, he was talking to them. I thought he was talking to we're gonna but you know what I mean? Yeah, okay. The men let out deranged screams, raised their claws, and started killing each other. Stop! What are you doing? Don't do anything stupid! Others approached, trying to stop the pair, while I furtively reached out my hand to activate my secret ability again, my face-sight power to cast illusions. Ah! Die! Ah! One after another, the Ward family attacked each other. No one paid me any more attention. Even those trying to stop their berserk kin sustained injuries. Within the pandemonium, it was downright effortless to use my face-sight on every last one of them. And she's like, I don't care if I die doing this. But there are so many monsters around! I've got to defeat them! I gotta kill them! You're the one who's gonna die here! For some reason I can't explain, when I watch them killing each other, I feel peace. Okay, that's a little deranged, but at the same time, sure, because, it's House Ward, so. I was a sole spectator of this tragedy. Something like joy welled up inside me, and that was when a shaky voice reached my ears. Speezy, are you doing this? Linus, oh, I haven't used my powers on you yet. She looks deranged. I love it. I mean, to be fair, watching them kill each other is really peaceful, and I like it. Yeah, she's lost her fucking shit. I smiled, and his eyes opened wide. Was he shocked? Horrified? He looks freaking mad. I don't know why, but I feel I can use my face-sight even without touching my target now. Unadulterated amusement dominated my heart. Still smiling, I held out my hand to Linus. What? Just with that motion, he began trembling. Oh, I wonder what he's seeing. Oh, look, this horrifying CG. No, I hate it. I hate it. Because his claws are, in your face, and I hate them. They're terrifying. Oh, my God. But, otherwise, it's very good in being horrible. Okay. Because, you've got, okay, there's just something, even the coloring and everything, still the lighting is beautiful, but the coloring of it, because it's, you've got, the dark blue and purple background, which is usually oh, okay, if you're going for a spooky vibe. You can use that in a beautiful way, but it's adding to the spookiness. And then the red and orange, which is also, there's something about this that's giving you, spooky Halloween vibes because of the purple and the orange, blending. And then, of course, the blood kind of splatters on the edges and everything, and there's just the way it's, red around the edge there on the right-hand side, and it's just... Yeah, and the fact that his hand, the way there's, I don't want to say, it's not a fuzziness. It almost looks like, when you look like a piece of art that's supposed to be 3D, and it's got, the red and blue lines, and then you put on your 3D glasses, and then it's 3D, old-fashioned, paper 3D. It almost has that vibe. The way his hand is. So it's not a fuzziness, but it's got the weird 3D kind of lines. I don't know any other word to describe them. That's the thing I can think of. So there's something about it that adds to the creepiness because it's almost an illusion. Even her hand that you can see through his claws has got that, it's not even a shadow or a double layer or a fuzziness, but you know what I'm saying if you're looking at it. You get what I'm saying. Having that all around. Even her hair and everything, the outlines of them, their faces are sharp and clear, but everything else, her hair, the dress, her hand, his hand, has that weird blur 3D, that weird line effect that is just amping up the, the weirdness. You know what I mean? I can't describe it. I don't know how to describe it, but it's just adding to the overall, oh, this is spooky and just, I don't have words for it, but anyway, just, ugh. I wish I could grasp words better with what I want to like, but you know what I mean? And I mean, like, her face, obviously, like, oh, yes, I'm slightly crazy, and him looking possessed. But it's not even just their facial expressions. Even without that, it's just the lighting and the coloring and that line effect that just adds to that, like, it's like, I don't even want to say tension because it's not tense, but it gives you that I guess it's uncomfortable, like, oh no, this is a dark one, but not like so uncomfortable where you're like, oh God, no, but you're just like, oh, it's a slight discomfort. You know what I mean? You feel a little discombobulated. Is that it? That's what, I don't know, but you get what I'm saying if you're looking at it. So anyway, but no, good job. Damn. Can you see the monsters now too? Yes, everyone here other than me is an enemy. Monster. Enemy. No, they aren't. The people here are my precious family and... You're quite stubborn to refuse to yield this long. Perhaps that's only expected of the next ward head, but escape is futile. Shaking his head, Linus desperately tried to resist. I directed my face sight at him again. Charge forward. Join the banquet of blood. Tears flowed down his cheeks as he continued resisting. It was so very boring to watch. What I wanted to see was something fun. We definitely are the Queen's vessel, because I think we've snapped and become her a little bit. What's this sensation that I've been having? Ah, I know. I recalled the Queen's eyes filled with madness that I'd seen once. Her cruelty had been paired with the most bemused smile. I can understand that woman now. And then the game is like, we're not even trying to hide. She acting crazy like the Queen. I was elated to realize this. The men swinging their claws at their brethren was a humorous spectacle. I knew that if the Queen were here, she'd be laughing with me. No, I don't want to think of them as my enemies. No! I think it's almost better that he's struggling, because then we're going to get the better of him. He's going to go fight them and kill them and be struggling. No, I don't want to do that. Oof. Linus's mind still fought back, but his body had succumbed to the illusion. His feet carried him to the bloodbath. Exactly this, and this is why it's the tragic end. That's right. Head over. Join them and give me a great show. Amuse me more. Yes. Before they kill me, I'll kill those monsters. At last, he could no longer defy my illusion. At last, I recognized the emotion in his eyes as he looked at me was fear. I recognized the emotion in his eyes as he looked at me was fear. Okay, that did read that word. A reenactment of the scene that played in my nightmares unfolded before my eyes. But this time, what flowed wasn't the blood of House Randolph. This time it was the blood of House Ward. Ward, who sparked the fire that destroyed the village. Ward, who went around killing everyone. Now they kill each other in the very place they cursed. What comedy! I weaved my words in a light and merry voice, almost singing. John's voice echoed in my mind for an instant. Is it what the fuck? Remember what the Fae King said. Whenever you use your power, your nature becomes closer to that of pure Fae. I don't want you taking that risk. And that's why we're gone fucking batshit insane, like the Queen. He did mention something like that, didn't he? But... Die! As I watched Linus hunt down his family more nimbly than anyone else, dancing a dance of death, I felt this irresistible thrill. I never knew becoming a pure Fae felt so nice. I thought to myself that I wouldn't mind living as one forever if it meant I could stay within this sweet slumber. I'm very happy right now, John. I want to watch this scene until the end of time. Immersed in a never-ending dream, I stood there by myself, smiling forever and ever. Well, that's some fucked up shit. That's how it... Oh my god! I feel like the only part about... Oh.
どうしてこうなってしまったんだろう。どこで間違えたんだろう。君を裏切った時にこうなると決まっていたのかな。ああ。もう何も見えない。血に濡れた手を振り回して。 今の俺は、本当の犬だな。
Oh, that little sad laugh, and now I'm nothing but a dog. I almost forgot that was going to happen. Okay, the only thing I don't necessarily love about that ending versus some of the other tragic endings we've had, is the fact that in this one, right, in the other ones, okay. So it's probably just a matter of semantics, so we just gotta, like, look at it the way it is. In that one, it's tragic in its own way, and I love it for that. But I think the other ones, we make our love interest suffer. And in the very beginning of that, when she's causing him those hallucinations, he's like, no, I don't want to kill my family. But then all of a sudden, he kind of fucking snaps, and then he's going and he's killing people. But what I really think would have made it better is if he kept that, no, I don't want to do this, as he's slaughtering his family, like he's trying to fight it. His body can't. And I feel like maybe that's what they were trying to convey, but I'm not sure, because at the end, he just kill the monsters. And it's like, but did he really snap, or is he aware of what he's doing? Because that is the difference between it being like, oh my God, we like mind controlled him to kill his family, and then after the illusion's done, he's going to realize what he did. That's, tragic level A. But, like, him slaughtering his family with this compulsion to kill them because they're monsters. But again, somewhere in the back of his mind, real Linus is there like, no. And, like, watching himself do it is so much worse. You know what I mean? So I guess we just kind of have to... Because I think you could sort of read into it either way. Because obviously in the very beginning, when she's giving him the illusion, he's fighting back. I don't want to kill my family. I don't want to kill my family. But again, that last line of his is like, the monsters have to die. It's almost like he's lost himself and he's now full in the illusion. But I like better, it's more tragic to me and more painful if he is killing his family because he can't control himself, but he's aware that it's his family. Because, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's so much more tragedy in that. So I kind of want to just be like, you know what? Somewhere in the back of his mind, Linus knew what was happening and couldn't control himself. Because again, if we were ever became the vessel for the queen, that's more tragic than I just ceased to exist and now the queen's in my body. That's tragic for everyone watching this happen, but not as much. And it's tragic for us, but the tragic for us is like, that's like 50% tragic for us, Whereas us being a shadow of ourselves trapped in our body while the queen puppets us and we can't do anything, but we know what's happening. We see day to day and we're living out our life stuck. Watching someone else control our body is like 100% tragic. You know what I mean? Like, that's way worse. So I want that for Lucas here. I shouldn't want that for anyone. That's horrible. But for tragedy, you're like, no, I want that, because that is like, oh, that hurts so much more. You know what I mean? So again, I guess you could read into it and be like, well, because he was fighting, there's a part of him that knows as he's no monster, and that there's a part of him in the back of his mind that is aware of what he's doing and is going to be like, I remember everything. I had no control over it. I couldn't stop myself. It's like I wasn't in control of my own body, but I saw every time I murdered someone in my family. And I watched as they murdered each other and I could do nothing about it. So we could just read into it like that, Because like, So, anyway, that was our tragic end. I will say, for tragic ends, it wasn't bad. I kind of like it because I like that she is a little dilute, like she's lost her fucking marbles, like it was a nice twist. But I think out of the tragic ends that we've seen so far, the three of them, this is probably my least favorite of them. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's something about it that's still good, but it just for some reason didn't hit the way, like, you're like, oh, Lucas, this is my thing. I'm going to die in front of you, where you're like, oh, no, he didn't do anything. And maybe it's because we were ready to kill Linus and have Linus kill us, and then this was we paying him back, even though, again, is he really responsible for his actions? He was a child. He didn't know what was going to happen when he, said he found us. Okay. It's slightly more tragic because, yes, he was a child, but Lucas was puppeteered. So, like, I feel almost like they're kind of on even footing they really didn't do anything to deserve us hating them because, yes, they were involved in killing our family, but not willingly, sort of. But for some reason, Lucas's ending where we're like, now I died in front of you, so you have to live with that, I feel like hurts a little bit more than this one did. And Alfred's is still by far the motherfucking best because that is like, oh my God. Because you have to sit there and be like, Alfred is totally in love with you. You were killing everyone in the 5 houses. He knew that you were doing it. You get caught. He watches you get executed where he's like, and then you whisper that you love him. You're like, I love you, as you die. And then he is left without you, but you have also gone so crazy. You have destroyed that man. Like, for her, the vengeance she got was on everybody. She got the vengeance on everyone, and Alfred worst. And she ripped that man's heart out. And that was just... that is just some masterful, glorious level of being insane. I seriously think that tragic ending, that clown ending, is the best one so far. You know what I mean? But they all have, like... They're all a little bit of their own master class, So... But anyway, we will start the Astray ending, not the Ashtray ending. Now, this one starts here with these two eyeing each other, about ready to throw down over me, okay? But it doesn't have a notation like Lucas's did of this is a bad end, ha ha ha. You know what I mean? So are we going to have a bad end where we get to be with the two of them? And we get a throuple thing? Because that's what I want. That's what I want, okay? Although, to be fair, like, in the director's or the producer's version or whatever, it would be Ascot after this. So then you would think if they were going to do anything, it'd be Linus and Ascot fighting over me. But they've had this animosity between these two the whole time. So I feel like if we're going to get a throuple ending, this would be it. We'd marry Edward and then Linus would be fighting for me. And it would be like that scenario with these two. You know what I mean? So we're going to return with Edward this time. We're not going to finish this today. We will finish it the next time. And then we'll also do the, after scenes and stuff like that. So I shall head back with Lord Edward. Even if I chose to say, I highly doubt you'd ever believe me, Lord Linus. I learned that lesson very well last night. Hearing my statement, Edward's expression darkened instantly. It can't be. Surely Linus didn't interrogate you in a heartless manner, did he? No, that isn't the case. Well, I mean, no, we were making out, but... Linus is like, I was just making out with her. I reflected upon what had happened, and feeling conflicted, I couldn't meet Linus's eyes. I turned away as I replied. My reaction seemed to have deepened Edward's doubt. Just like I thought. I can't leave you here. Lynn, no matter what you say, I'm bringing her back with me. Fine, I get it. Do what you want. As I deduced, Linus must have predicted this outcome, because he didn't continue the fight. And then, okay, the Astray, and then we're straight into the ending. Okay. By the time Edward brought me back to the Bernstein estate, it was still only a little past dawn. The vicinity was hushed and silent. I doubt anyone's awake at this ungodly hour. I was told the official story was I stayed a night elsewhere for Edward's errand. I was relieved to return before my daily work began. Lord Edward, I can't thank you enough for coming to fetch me. I shall prepare to work right away so that no one will be disrupted. Your work ethic is admirable, but please don't strain yourself. The past 24 hours have been exhausting for you. I can explain things to Nick and ask him to give you a day off. How about you spend today at your own pace? No, that would be awfully indulgent of me. I felt more emotional fatigue than physical, so I wanted to merely focus on work. If my mind became idle, I'd think about... Making out with Linus? Are we flashing back to no. But then, it'd be likely she resents the queen too. As a ward, I can't just ignore any who bear malice against her majesty. And I don't mind her killing me, but if she had plans to assassinate the queen, I would kill that girl. I see. I feel like this was also him being like, I'm kind of suspecting who you are. I could never tell Edward what happened. Plus, now that I'd seen Edward fight so hard for me earlier, I was averse to presume upon his kindness further. Maybe I should be firmer with my rejection. Feeling put on the spot by his steady gaze, I was just about to respond when Edward took the initiative to talk, albeit faltering. Are you going to ask me to marry you? 'Cause okay. Sorry, I suggested you rest today, but truthfully, I want to talk to you a little longer. Could you please give me your time? I wish to hear your honest feelings, so... I know. Shall we head to my room? Sir? Asking a lady to your room is wildly inappropriate. I will meet you there. Like, yes, all right. Oh, she didn't even falter. She's like, all right. She's like, bet. Okay. He wanted to ask me something. Likely questions I didn't want to be asked. Maybe he's going to ask if you'll marry him. Still, I owed him for rescuing me from my plight, and considering my current situation, it'd be challenging to turn him down. Remember that when he proposes. Edward invited me into his room. He left the door ajar, then he beckoned me over to the windows, across the room from the door. It's not that I'm worried someone will listen in on us, but the privacy makes it easier for you to speak your mind, right? Thank you for your thoughtfulness. He ushered me to sit down, and so I quietly settled on the chair facing him. My anxiety rose, my entire body taut. Possibly to give me some positive polite space, Edward looked away, out the window as he asked his question. To tell you the truth, I've been meaning to ask you this for a long time. What's your actual relationship with Lynn? Oh, he's like, are you in love with him? What? No. So you're in love with me? What? What? Lynn was suspicious that you might be related to threats against the Queen. That's why he arrested you, he said. But I'm not a fool. I can tell there's something between you two. More than that. At this point, Edward glanced briefly in my direction. I want to protect you, and to do that, I'd like to know precisely what happened between you two. If you don't mind, could you please tell me what's troubling you? I had to say something to evade this questioning. I knew that, but I struggled to find words. If this were any other day, I could come up with an excuse in a snap, but I'm still shaken from what happened last night. I didn't know what Edward thought of my silence as he turned to face me directly. Then, a soft smile bloomed on his face. If it's a difficult topic for you, may I say what's on my mind first? And not as a Bernstein, just as me. Honestly, I wanted a listener to confide in about my feelings. About your feelings? Edward suddenly spoke more casually and personally. Startled, I blinked back at him. Seeing that, he gently touched my shoulder. Are you going to say your feelings for me, or are we going to have a weird thing where you're into Linus? I don't know. This feels oddly like we're about to get some romance topics. You know what I mean? Am I just imagining it? Okay, listen, I'm sure part of me is imagining it because we're like, I want that ending. I want you set it up in line. I need that ending for every grouping of men. Okay? Okay? We're gonna need a like weird caught in the middle of these two men fighting over me ending in one or another route. Okay? Okay? We don't have to have it for every character. But we need it for every grouping of characters. You know what I'm saying? We got Alfred and Linus. We're going to need Edward. And we got Alfred and Lucas. We're going to need Edward and Linus. I'm assuming, based on this right now, it's what it's feeling to me. Okay, I'm feeling it. And then we got Ascot and John. I don't know how that's going to work, but sure. Sure. I'm sure we could figure out something if John really is Oberon's vessel or some shit. Then there's some faith and yada, yada. I don't know. Anyway, right? But so like you psyched me up for that game, and so I want that. So right now, in the way they've been eyeing each other the whole time and having this like, oh, my lady thing, like this peacock fight where they're just like flailing their tail feathers over here, and we're just like, fuck is happening? It's just like they ain't fighting, but they just like peacocking over here a little bit, and you're like, this is nobody's done this. Alfred wasn't peacocking in Lucas's route, but these two, I'm not crazy. You feel this, right? Like there's been a little bit of this throughout the route. You're like, are we are we going to be in a love triangle? This is strange. And then they kind of just like, but you just kind of shove it in the corner and walk away from it, and you're like, but did you just? It was, right? Right? We're not crazy? No, I don't think we're crazy. And that CG with them staring each other down, and now we're here? And now we here? I feel like it's the perfect setup. The game was like, we're going to put the CG here, and it's going to be the choice, and then that's going to be the choice that leads you down this love triangle ending. Okay, all right, cool. Here for it. And that's what it feels like right now. So maybe I've just set myself up and I have these high expectations. But he's like, what's your relationship? He's like, let me talk about my feelings. And you're like, there is no way how is this going to come out anything other than I love you or I'm really in love with Linus. I mean, he's either going to like fall in love with us or tell us he's gay right now. And since it's an Otome game and he's a love interest, I highly doubt he's going to go gay. But I don't know. And I just don't think he being friendly to be our boss right now. And the game's going to bamboozle me, and I'm getting my hopes up, and then it's going to be like, I think you and Linus would make a cute couple, and we're going to be like, shit. Not going to get the ending I hoped, but, I know you might have trouble believing me, but I didn't go to save you just because you're a servant of my household. See, I feel, it's leaning to bamboozling me to making him think that he got feelings for me. When I heard that Lynn took you away, I simply couldn't take that line down. I had to find you. Because you're a gentleman? Or because you're in love with me? Huh? Wait, is he saying... Edward's words were like a bolt from the blue. I had a gut instinct about the implications of his words, but surely this man wouldn't say something like that, right? I hope so! To be blunt, I didn't want Lynn to snatch you away from me. The real reason I want to know what happened is nothing but plain jealousy. Stop it. Okay. I'm trying so hard not to scream very loudly right now. First of all, the bird is napping gently against my hand. And second of all, I don't want to blast your eardrums out. But I want to scream so hard right now. Please tell me this is we are going to be like, no, I'm in love with you, and I just didn't want to tell you. And just the same way we had but see, with Alfred, it was like, I'm just going to marry Alfred for, like, we know it's not real. Alfred's like, well, we'll get married, and it'll be like yeah, okay, cool, an arranged marriage because we're both want to kill the queen. Got you, bro. And then Lucas is like, what the fuck? And Alfred's like, I mean, maybe I'm going to really take her away from you. And you're like, excuse me? Yeah, but this would be us manipulating Edward, and then Linus, is this, we're not going to know until the next part because we can't finish it here. You can't not give it to me now. You can't not give it to me now. You've promised me, game. This is a promise. You can't break it. I want to know more about you, not as the next head of House Bernstein, but as a simple man. You want to know more about me. I feel like she could go, I'm going to marry Edward or be in a relationship with him because that would protect me from Linus figuring out who I am, and this will give me an upper hand. And like, she's going to use it. You know what I mean? Did he just confess to me? Is his jealousy the type I'm thinking about? If this had been a day ago, I'd have plotted to use his feelings for my own gain. But now to think of romantic love, only Linus's face flashed in my mind. Oh no, okay, I wanted her to use him to plot. I thought about 8 years ago, my fateful encounter with Linus, about how maze-like our relationship became to navigate, and about how after learning that he didn't betray us and is willing to give his life to me, my hatred withered away. And I can't deny there's an emotion budding in my heart stronger than hatred, but I mustn't nurture that one. As I thought, what came out weren't words, but tears sliding down my cheeks. I never meant to cry, but when Edward was gazing at me with those kind, concerned eyes, the tears kept coming. I couldn't stop them. See, okay, now I don't know how this is going to go. I'm sorry. I knew that saying something like this out of the blue would distress you. But I can't lie to my own heart anymore. I like you, Space. This is also a good lead up to his route, by the way. Edward was an earnest man who'd feel responsible for my tears. That sincerity was suffocating for me right now. There wasn't even a hint of a shadow in his eyes, hammering home the fact that I could never lie to someone like him. I'm not the kind of girl you think I am, Lord Edward. By all rights, I'm someone who deserves to be driven out from this place. If a responsible person like you is saying that, there must be very complicated circumstances. May I ask why? There was no compulsion in Edward's tone. He was only gently prompting me. Even so, rationality held me back, preventing me from saying anything definite. I need to keep a hold of my status as a maid of the Bernstein estate. If my identity's exposed, I won't be able to take my revenge. I maintained my silence. Edward still treated me with utmost kindness. I understand. Let's end this topic here. For now, I only hope you'll keep in mind that I like you. And no matter what, I'm on your side. He would be that guy. He'd be like, I'm totally in love with you, but if you want to marry Alfred, I'll plan the wedding. Like, he would be that guy. Yeah. John's over there like, I've been pining for you for 8 years, but like, whatever. It's like, yeah, but you didn't say anything. And you'd begrudgingly plan a wedding. Edward would do his goddamn best to make it the best wedding ever. That's all I'm saying. Except for maybe with Linus. He'd absolutely steal me from Linus. But, you know, whatever. So, could you make some private time for me occasionally like this? I don't plan to pry. I just want to talk casually sometimes as friends. He's compassionate enough to not dismiss my circumstances. How could I reject him after everything he's said and done? I understand. If that's your wish, Lord Edward, I want to meet your request. Thanks, Space. He sighed with relief, still gazing at me with tender eyes. The warmth in them only made me feel more anguished. Oh? Oh? And now he's meeting Alfred! Guys, I can't handle this. I want to finish this. We're not going to. Okay, we're not going to because these take 2 parts. We know that. These bad endings and then the wrap, it takes 2 parts. So we're going to wrap this part up here and we will finish this ending. But oh my God, are you excited for a love triangle ending? I am excited for a love triangle ending. I hope that's the CG we get with this part. I can't play it till tomorrow. I could record it like right now after this, but I'm a little behind in our other game. So like it's so tempting. It's so tempting. I don't know. I haven't decided. Anyway, I will see. I'm a little behind in both things because I didn't record anything last night. I recorded one part, the part from yesterday and this yesterday at lunch. And then I was like, it's a rainy, dark day. And I'm like, I just want to read. So I didn't even record anything at night because I'm like, I'm like a little more than a week ahead. I can't get past it. Like, as of right now, like when I post things on Sunday, I'll be like a week and a half ahead maybe. So it's like, I'm like, it's fine. But you know what? Listen, you got to do what you got to do sometimes. But like right now, oh my God. First of all, I'm hungry, but I really want to record the rest of this. I don't know if I'm going to do it. I don't know. It's either going to be, I'm going to record this right after this, or I'm not going to record it till tomorrow afternoon. I don't know, but man, it's killing me. I kind of want to know what happens, but I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.